welcome to my channel. I am Stephanie, and this is the answers from the Bookish Pyramid and the newly original Heatwave book tag. So last Thursday, I think it was, I put out a video of an original sort of bookish tag called the Bookish Pyramid, and if you haven't checked it out, please do go over and do that. But I asked 5 things, or I had 5 categories where I had a couple of items per, and then I asked you guys to sort of guess what you thought those categories were. I received some really amazing answers. I also did it over on my Instagram. I did a couple of categories over there as well, and I got some really good answers. There were a couple people that got a couple of them right. However, no one got all of them right, but I figured I'd give you guys the answers so you guys could sort of see what you thought. And if you want to still play along, you can. Leave the answers that you think they are down in the comment section, but these are going to be the answers, so you'll see the picture and then you'll automatically get what they are. So after I finished recording this, I forgot to tell you that if you don't want to know the answers to the Bookish Pyramid questions and you want to watch it first, check out the description box for the time jump to get to the Heatwave book tag. Hey, whatever. But let me give you those answers before I get to my new book tag that I created as well. So the first thing, or the first items that I showed you guys, was my Kindle, my phone, and my Kindle Fire, which was this picture. And the reason I showed you all 3 of those are the devices that I read on, and I listen to audiobooks on those, and I e-read, and yes, that's just how I do my reading. The second picture that I gave you guys was of Our Unscripted Love by L.A. Fior, If I Only Knew by Corinne Michaels, and Mercy by Deborah Anastasia. And the reason I gave you these 3 books was because all 3 of these books I listen to as audiobooks, and they have killer narrators. I absolutely love the narrators for these books, and they just melt my heart or steamed my panties off. They are amazing. So if you're into audiobooks, if you're into accents and things like that, go check out these 3 books. The third picture, or third 3 things that I showed you guys, was a book by Kennedy Ryan, a book by Danielle Allen, and a book by L.D. Davis. And these 3 authors are all authors of color, and I have met them. That is why they are grouped together. I love them. They are amazing. They're amazing authors, amazing people. They write amazing books, and they're very diverse in their characters, and I just love them to death. The fourth thing that I showed you guys was these 3 pictures of Jess from Peace Love Books, Bree from Falling for Romance blog, and Lauren from the Novel Rush. And these are 3 of my favorite booktuber / bookish people. This was a pretty easy one, I thought, although Bree is a blogger now, and I always run and read what she has to say. She has such amazing words. Oh my gosh, I miss her on BookTube, but I really hope that her blog really takes off, because the things that she says about the books that she's reading is just absolutely amazing. Of course, I love Jess because that's my girl. We read similar things, and I love hearing her opinion on those things. And then Lauren, Lauren is my urban fantasy, just snarky amazingness girlfriend that is just, yes. So many yeses. She's across the country from me, but whenever she puts something up or puts a tweet out, I am all about it and just want to interact with her because she's amazing. And then the 5th thing that I showed you guys was the book Heartless by Marissa Meyer, Of Fire and Stars by Audrey Colehurst, and Our Lady Jane by Cynthia Hand, Rhodey something or another, and Jody Meadows, and I received all three of these books in subscription boxes. I believe they're all Owl Crate books, so they all have special colors, or special covers, and that's why I put those three out there. They also happen to be YA, and I also haven't read them yet. Okay, so on to my original book tag. We're in a heat wave here on the East Coast of the United States. We're also in summer, so I figured I would create a book tag. It's really quick, it's really short, and maybe it'll catch on for us Americans, or even if you're not in America, let's go international. Let's do this thing. So here are the questions, and here are my answers, and I hope you guys will join in. The questions will be down in the description box, so you can join if you would like to and do your video. So question number 1 is, a heat wave is a prolonged period of excessive heat, often combined with excessive humidity. So name a book that is steaming hot or smoking hot from the start to the finish. And my smoking hot book for this year that I'm going to tell you guys, I've read a couple of them, but this is one that I was just like, oh yes, so many yeses. It's Needing Him by Kennedy Fox. This is a story where this huge family that you're introduced to, he goes on a vacation and meets this really sassy, sort of clumsy woman, and they really hit it off, and then they have vacation love. Yes. So it's also set in the summertime in a warm location. So yeah, excessive heat. So much excessive heat. Question number 2 is, heat waves kill... Why can't I talk today? Heat waves kill more Americans than any other natural disaster, i.e. floods, lightning, tornadoes, and hurricanes. So name a book that has a natural disaster or is post-apocalyptic setting. So my recommendation for this one, or my pick for this year, is The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken. In this story, you have kids that we're in post-apocalyptic America, and kids have been getting this illness where they don't know what's going on with them, and lo and behold, it's not really an illness. You either have powers or you don't have powers once you become a 10-year-old, I think, or you hit like puberty or something like that. But this is sort of their journey on discovering themselves and how the government is sort of trying to oppress them, and we're not having any more kids, and it's all kinds of craziness. But I loved the strong nature of our main character, Ruby, and how she's finding herself and her journey and everything like that. I just really enjoyed this. I watched the movie with my son, who really loves it, and I really hope that they finish off this series in movie form, because it's superb. I loved the movie, I enjoyed the book, and I was here for it. Totally here for it. Question number 3 is, dehydration is one of the main issues of a heat wave or heat injuries during a heat wave. So stay hydrated. Name a book that you would consider hydration for your soul. And I actually have a couple books for this one. The first one I'm going to talk about is Hookshot by Kennedy Ryan. Kennedy Ryan pretty much is, any of her books are hydration for my soul, because she brings this realness that is just absolutely amazing. She does her stinking research when it comes to these hard-hitting topics that she covers in her books and in the romance that goes along with it. I mean, she's my realistic contemporary queen. So if that says anything, that yes, hydration for my soul. And this book in particular really touched me, because even though there are trigger warnings for childhood sexual abuse, she does a magnificent job at covering those topics, and I was here for it. So here for it. And then the next thing that I'm going to talk about is Indefinite and Infinite by Corinne Michaels. This is a duology. It is the last set of duets, or last duet in the Salvation series by Corinne, and This, I think, was the hardest story or hardest couple to read out of the Salvation series. They had so many things going on with their coupledom, I guess you could say, or with their relationship, that it was just superb. I mean, magnificent. And I cried, I laughed, I swooned. I could see Corinne's heart all on every single page that she wrote about the couple that's in this series, or in this duet, as well as the other characters that I have already seen, because I've read the entire Salvation series now, and how everyone interacts, and just this huge family of military and Navy SEALs, to be exact, just to let you know, and how they work in their relationships and dealing with the things that are going on in their lives. It's just so superb. I can't say enough good things about this duet and about this series. Question number 4 is, before a heat wave is declared, the heat must be prolonged. So, name a book that took you forever to read, i.e. a big book, a slow storyline, a frustrating character-driven book. Use your own sort of play on this one. I am going with 2 books, and they're for very different reasons. I loved, actually, these books. It wasn't that I did not enjoy them. It was just, it took me a long time, and I'll tell you why. So the first book is Demon You Love by L.A. Fior. I just recently finished this book. This is the second book in the Lost Boys series that L.A. is doing, and I don't know why it took me so long. I actually got an arc of this, and it has since been released by like months. And I don't know why it took me so long, but this book was amazing. I ended up so loving it. I loved the storyline between the 2 characters. I loved the damage between the 2 characters individually, and how they worked it out as a couple, and just, I loved it. I loved it. And then the romantic suspense, or the suspense part of it, was like an underlying feeling to it, but it didn't overwhelm the story. You really got their romance, and then you also had the carry-on story from the first book. And I just loved it. I loved it. But it did take me a long time to read it. And then the next thing that I'm going to talk about is Rebel by Beverly Jenkins. And this book was a prolonged read for me because it deals with hard topics that I have an issue with when reading. It deals with slavery, and it deals with the lives of African Americans in the 1800s in the United States, what is now the United States, and it's just a heavy subject topic, and it's definitely all history. I mean, woo, Beverly brings a history, a lesson in these stories, and in this one in particular, she brought you a history lesson. And I am not a huge fan of history lessons, but this one, yes, definitely. But then she puts this like twist on it that keeps you engaged, and I was here for it, totally here for it. But it did take me a long time to actually get into and finish this book. And then the 5th and final question, see, I told you guys it would be a short book tag, is heat waves occur during summertime, usually. And currently here in the United States, we are in summertime. So provide a few summertime books as recommendations. Super simple, right? So I'm going to recommend you guys check out My Perfect Fix by Carrie Haywood. This is the 4th book in the Thompson family, or Fix series by Carrie, and it is so much fun. It's light, it is sweet, it is one of those things that you could read by the pool in a day and be happy about it, and it just gives you joy, and it's very light. And plus the cover is like this green and yellow thing going on, and I think it screams summertime, right? The next book is Getting Played by Emma Chase, and this I listened to as an audiobook, and I really enjoyed the banter between our main characters, the fact that it started off super steamy, like super steamy. And then it went contemporary with the issues that they ended up having to deal with, and I just really enjoyed it. I love the banter between the main characters, and the situation is probably one of those that a lot of people aren't gonna like. I'm not gonna tell you what it is, because that's just wrong. But it is a trope that I have heard on BookTube that a lot of people don't like. I loved it. I absolutely enjoyed it. So I just think it was amazing. And then finally, The Locker Room by Megan Quinn. And this is another one that started off super hot and steamy, continued to be super funny, and then I wanted to throw it out of the window. So much. Not because it was bad. It was because I was frustrated with something that ended up happening. But overall, I really enjoyed this book. It is about a baseball player and the woman that sort of knocks him off his kilter, knocks him off of his game. Because, you know, most baseball players, when they're in college and things like that, they're looking to go pro. That's their thing. That's their dream, right? And when you get knocked off kilter from that one-dimensional mind of I'm going to the pros, and you find that one person that is like in your corner, it's something special, something very, very special. And this book is very, very special, and I think it's light enough and sexy enough to sit around by the pool and read and laugh out loud and, you know, be happy about it. It's a summertime read. I think so. So that is the answers for my Bookish Pyramid original book tag from last Thursday, as well as a new Bookish tag for you guys. So please, like I said, all of the questions will be down in the description box. So if you want to go out and do your own Heatwave book tag, please do. I will love watching them. So if you do it, if you do it, if you complete it, if you decide to take on that challenge, please let me know down in the comment section to check out your channel so I can go check out the videos and see what you guys are putting for your Heatwave books. Let me know what you thought about the things that I talked about. As always, oh, by the way, if you're not on a platform, or if you're not a blogger, or if you don't have a channel here, just answer the questions down in the comments. I appreciate that as well. So, as always, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also, there is a feedback form down in the description box so you guys can help me improve my channel. Thank you for watching, and we will see you guys later.